The man claimed he was German. The German soldiers pulled down his pants, only to discover he was Jewish. Right there, they executed him. The boy, realizing the danger, quickly removed his red scarf and tore up his identity papers, because he too was Jewish. Moments later, German soldiers approached him with questions. Thinking fast, the boy spoke fluent German and told them he was actually a German who had escaped from the Soviet Union. The soldiers weren't suspicious, but they still took him to an officer to confirm his story. The officer asked the boy for his parents' names, but he had forgotten to make them up. At that moment, a terrifying-looking officer suddenly stepped in, backed up the boy's story, and even embraced him. Just then, chaos erupted outside. The Germans had captured a Soviet officer, but because of the language barrier, arguments broke out. The boy boldly stepped forward and offered to serve as interpreter. Soon, the Germans realized that among the captured prisoners was none other than Stalin's son. Overjoyed, the Nazi soldiers cheered and credited the discovery to the boy. They even pulled him into their group photo. Afterwards, the boy was taken to the German headquarters. His disguise was so convincing that no one doubted him anymore. But then, suddenly, one of the prisoners called out his name. It was an old enemy of his. That man exposed the truth, shouting that the boy was Jewish. But the German soldiers didn't understand the language, so they asked the boy himself to translate. Without hesitation, the boy lied, saying he didn't even know the man, and raised his hand as if to slap him. The Nazis, impressed, burst into laughter. The furious prisoner lunged at the boy, but the soldiers restrained him. Moments later, that man was executed. This way, the boy gained the Germans' full trust and became part of their unit. Together, they launched attacks on Soviet positions and even captured their radio. The boy translated incoming Soviet messages for them, until suddenly, snipers opened fire. His entire unit was wiped out. Now, the boy had only one option left: to join the Soviets. Using the radio, he sent them a message, then ran towards their lines with his hands raised in surrender. The Soviet soldiers lowered their weapons and raised their hands back in response. But before he could reach safety, German soldiers suddenly stormed in. They believed the boy had betrayed them and chased after him. The colonel knew the truth. He asked the boy, "Who is your real enemy?" The boy replied, "The Soviet Union." The colonel shook his head and said, "No, your true enemy is not these men. This war is being waged against the Jews." The boy was stunned, unable to comprehend such hatred. Then the colonel advised him, "Go to Berlin and study."